Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today?
Morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Good morning.
So normally we would go through a check-in question and a roll call, but this is a rather large training. So if we can just go down the list and I'll just call out people as I see them. To just announce yourself, who you are and what organization you're a part of. I see somebody with a number ending in 0139.
Are you doing a roll call? Sorry, Jackie with Jolt here.
This is Santiago from Mi Familia Bota.
Hi, this is Rudy. I'm an organizer for Joel.
This is Maria Rene from Jolt as well.
Vincent from Houston in Action.
Daisy from Jolt.
Law Beverly.
So I'm gonna say that's nearly everybody, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody again. Welcome to our remote phone banking training. I know some of you guys have already started phone banking through AFL-CIO, their Labor Action Network. It was important that we had one joint system that allowed us all to do a collective work using a collective script that we all agreed upon, as well as being able to get the reporting structure that requires us all to get paid. So just a quick overview of what this webinar is going to look like. We're going to do, we did our check-in, our collective canvassing response to COVID-19, a brief overview. Please know that we are not experts in COVID-19. I'm just going to give you some general information about what's going on. A review of the goals and expectations of the phone bank, your daily reporting and understanding that new daily reporting structure, how to mask your number so that people can't see your personal number, reviewing the script and expectations, phone banking best practices, and then every knock at a dial tone on the phone. So to be successful in this webinar, and so just in case you want to take notes, paper and a notebook, your iPad, if you have it readily accessible, hopefully you do, and access to the email that you provided to your manager or your work email. For partner organizers at Houston in Action, that's going to be your work email. For everybody else, I believe it's the email that you provide to your manager. And a mobile device.
Hey, Lucius.
Yes.
Real quick, before we get started on the actual information, can we make sure that everyone else is muted too? There's a lot of background noise.
What was that?
Can we make sure that everyone else is muted as well? There's a lot of background noise I'm hearing.
Yes.
And it's impacted.
Everybody, I can try that again. Give me 1 second.
What are we doing now?
You all. It looks like it's not reading. Okay, that's everybody's muted. Sorry about that. I thought I did that. So on January 22nd of this year, we started knocking on doors. Actually, it was the 23rd to 22nd, it rained. We started knocking on doors. And up until last Wednesday, we were rather successful. What we did collectively as a management team across all 4 organizations, where we came to a collective agreement that it was no longer safe or secure or financially responsible for us to be knocking on doors and having such a reduced canvas contact rate. So what we're doing now is we're going to turn every phone into a door. This was a response to COVID-19. I'm sure that you guys all have heard about what this potential pandemic is and what does it look like and sound like. Just going to give you some brief information. Like I said, please know that we are not experts. We are learning as we go. And if you have any questions, I'm going to say ask your physician, because I have questions as well. So coronavirus 19, it circulates among animals, but it's known to affect some humans. 2019 virus started in China at the end of 2019, and a new strain that was not previously seen in humans. Symptoms are fever, cough, difficulty breathing, pain, muscle pain, or tiredness. It's important that if you guys are experiencing any of these symptoms within your household, that you call your primary care physician rather than rush to the emergency room. We don't want to overwhelm hospitals with what could potentially not be a case of COVID-19. So be sure to be in communication with your primary care physician or your local clinic so that you can express if they would like you to come in. The reason why we are doing a remote canvas or phone bank is simply because of the us needing to socially distance to prevent community spread of this disease. And that's one way that we're helping with the prevention is social distancing and working remotely. Prevention, when visiting affected areas, avoid contact with sick people, wash your hands with soap and water, and it is okay to use those hand sanitizers or hand sanitizer wipes. And if you develop a cough, use the inner side of your elbow to cough into. Medical masks can prevent you from touching your face. What I've learned is that you touch your face about 90 times per day without even knowing it. So try to prevent from touching your face just so that you're not passing any bacteria from your hands to your face. And transmission is a respiratory droplet that is estimated to last about 12 to 14 days. If you guys been watching national news, a lot of places are isolating for at least 14 days in hopes of minimizing the spread of this. And that's the idea that you can contract and get over this virus in 14 days. Like I said, we are not experts. I'm just giving you the latest knowledge that I know from my general information gathering. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the goals of this phone bank and what does it look like. We like to always think that we have SMART goals, and Houston in Action, we call them SMARTY goals. They're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, they're time-based, but we also like to add an E onto that, and that they're equitable. So in thinking about these SMART goals, we wanted to ensure goals that everybody can meet and everybody can manage. So we'll go over those. The goals are first set by your hours. Anybody can work up to 25 hours, Monday through Friday. Saturday is optional. If you have not completed your 25 hours by Saturday and you would like to work on Saturday, that is completely optional. That's up to you. Our phone bank hours are from 11 to 7, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That means that ideally you're working a 5-hour shift between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. And I'm going to leave it to your organization. Your organizations to decide if they want to set hours for their teams or if they just want to leave them open, and knowing that their canvassers are going to work either 11 to 4 or 2 to 7 or whatever that looks like for canvassers. But the most important thing about working from home is that you are actually working, and we will be monitoring that. So every canvasser, every team has a numerical shift goal. Your goal for every single hour is to call, for a 5-hour shift, is to make 120 calls. That is not a guarantee that 120 people are going to pick up. More than likely, not even half of those people are going to pick up. Your goal for a 5-hour shift is to talk to 30 people. I just realized that those are repeats. For a single canvasser for an hour, that's one canvasser working 1 hour will make 20 calls and have about 6 contacts. And over the course of your 5-hour shift, that would be 120 calls with 30 contacts. And for your entire team, which your supervisor would be 1,020 calls and 306 contacts for a single shift. I've updated the clock-in or daily reporting system, and we're going to get into that a little bit further down the line as well. It is pinned into your general channel in your Slack, and you're going to be able to clock in and out so that we can monitor when you guys are saying you're working, just so that it's an honor system, especially working from home, that you work the hours that you say you're going to work or that you have worked. It will be cross-matched with the data that is in the back end of every action to ensure that you were actually working during those periods. You select your organization, and that takes you to your respective question set. All the question sets are the same, it's just that they're divided into organizations so that you're able to easily find yourself, rather than having 45 people or 41 people within a question set. And at the end of the night, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna go back into general, and you're gonna clock out the same exact way. And when you do clock out, when you hit next, it's gonna bring you to additional questions. It's gonna ask how many people you've talked to, how many people were not home, how many people were the wrong number, and etc. You should be able to fill this out in its entirety at the best of your ability. If you have any questions, my workday normally ends around 9 p.m., so I'll be available via Slack basically throughout your entire work shift. So I know that for each organization, they have a separate clock-in system. The daily report is just an added layer to that clock-in system. So I know Joe uses T-Sheets, MFV uses ADP, and AFL-CIO uses Homebase. You should still clock in on your respective clock-in systems. And then you are also going to do the same thing on your daily report and clock in on that. So now let's talk about setting up a second number or masking your number. So the real reason why we want to do this is that in phone banking, there's going to be a lot of times where people will call us back. And we want to be able to mask your personal number and ideally send them to a number that you can monitor, but also does not ring directly to your personal phone number. You don't want thousands of people across Harris County having your personal cell phone number. We are suggesting that you go with Google Voice, more so because if someone wants to call you back and they leave a message, is easily transcribed in Google Voice, so you don't have to actually call a voicemail. You can go read the transcription. I'll be honest, sometimes those transcriptions aren't the best, but you do get the general sense of what the caller was calling for through Google Voice. Other services, if you don't want to set up a Google Voice, you can download apps like Text Now or Text Me that allow you to do third-party calling through a second number that will support you in doing your phone banking. And if you need assistance on setting these up, I know a lot of you guys were setting these up over the last couple of days. If you haven't set one up yet, you please feel free to set up a time with me, and I can walk you through getting you registered with a second number on any of these platforms. So now we're going to get into our every action training. And much like Labor Action Network, which you guys were using before, every action is nearly identical to that. It's just Houston in Action's version of it. So we're going to go ahead and click on over into it. You all should have received the email with an action ID invite in it. You should go ahead and click through that email and set up your action ID. I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes to find that. Those were sent out yesterday evening. And you might have got an update this morning as well, as Andy and I was working through it. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody as well, so that if you have any questions about or issues with your action ID, you can just let me know, say my name.
You're on the computer.
Chat.
Did you click the link? Did you click the link that I sent you?
So if you are go in your email that you provided your
And you can't do anything.
and then do
What's
accept
your phone
application.
number? Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
For some reason, I had made that account or whatever, but it's not allowing me to log
you're
back
not on
in.
there. And you click the link
Okay,
that I
what is
sent
it
you
saying?
in your email.
Hold on.
Okay, hang up and do it again.
Because I did it last night.
So
Click on the
we
link
should have
again.
got an
Like after we
updated
get off the
email
phone,
this
and
morning
then
as
text me
well.
and let me know.
So look for that updated email and try it that way.
Okay. It's from you as well?
It's probably from me or is it from Andy? It's from every action.
Okay.
I'm not sure who sent it. I don't know how it was sent out.
No, I don't have an updated email.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I don't have one either.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Okay.
So that was Tarshia, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Are you sending to my email, Hunter Tarshia?
Hunter Tarshia at Gmail, yes.
Yeah.
So I just sent you instructions to set up a new password. So go ahead and do that. We had to change user profile. So that might have been an issue. Somebody else said that they were having an issue.
Yes, I'm having an issue. Anna Hernandez.
Ana Hernandez. Give me 1 second. Ana, users. Hernandez. Okay, I just sent you the action ID invite, Anna. So go ahead and check your email. Anybody else having an issue?
Yes, this is Beverly Baker. You go ahead in general and clock in and out. Is it set up for us today out as well?
Yes.
Hey, Lucius, I have a question for you as well.
I'm sorry, what was that?
So our for the login, is our account name going to be our email?
So once you get to your login, once you accept your, I'm sorry, let me switch back over.
Hello?
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody's still unmuted. Yes, they are. So once you guys are in, you're gonna log in using Action ID. So you're gonna click login with Action ID. Oh, this is me. I'm trying to get one-to-one simple. That is not, I'm sorry, give me, because mine has additional securities on it. New window. Can you guys see my screen? HiA dot.
No, I can't see the screen. This is Beverly. I can't see the screen.
Share. So you're gonna do login with Action ID. It's gonna be above the regular login. It's gonna be a blue button. You're gonna use your email that you provided. And then your password that you set. And you should be able to log in and get to the Houston Action welcome screen.
It's saying I don't have access to the site.
Who's this?
Daisy.
Daisy.
Yeah, so I logged in, but it says I don't have access.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna have Nate on this call because he's better at this than I am. Close this. Yes. I need to be back in line. Uh, Daisy, what's your last name?
Campos?
There we go. I just resent the invite. Is everybody else having trouble getting logged in? Or is it just like a small handful of you? Santiago, are your people having any trouble? Do you know? Tarshia, were you able to get back in?
Not that I know of. I haven't heard any issues with login, but they may be able to say better.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
Lucius is Jake Lopez.
Christian Lopez, were you
Yes.
having it?
I go by Jake, but I believe I'm in. It says check your event attendees in.
So, is everybody on the screen share? Can you see where my video, what my screen looks like?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to show you what you should be getting to. Menu. I'm just doing it from somebody that has the same setup as you guys. So your screen should look like this. Is that the case for everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So if you scroll down, you're going to see your virtual phone bank on the bottom right-hand corner.
Copy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you go ahead and you click on that right-hand corner, that virtual phone bank, it's going to bring you to this next screen that says 317 to 321 Canvas VPB. That's virtual phone bank.
Okay.
You're going to go ahead and you're going to click into that. This is going to tell you what it's going to give you. It's going to give you a name, a telephone number, X, Y, and Z. You're going to go ahead and click OK. And it's going to give you the first person. As you can tell, you have a progress bar at the top of this. This week, we have 27,453 calls made. What we are doing, we are trying to make sure that we keep you guys employed as long as possible throughout as much of the contract as we possibly can. So we're going to start with the regular dial phone bank. What you're going to see is you're going to see their first name, you're going to see their name, and you're going to see their address. You're going to call that number in blue, and you're going to let it ring, and then somebody's going to answer or not. If you cannot reach them, you're going to click that button in red that says couldn't reach. You're going to tell us why you couldn't reach them. Especially for my monolingual individuals, if they're a Spanish speaker, please identify that they speak Spanish so that we can go back and we can pull those responses that says Spanish speaker, and we can route those to somebody that is able to communicate with them.
Okay.
Please take your time and get comfortable with this script. It is a little bit more lengthy than the one that you guys have with the AFL-CIO and Leanne, but it's not that much more. It's literally adding an additional question. So you're gonna say, hello, can I speak to whoever the person is that you're talking to? We're gonna go with Jack, and I'm calling from, Jack, you're with what group? Mi Familia Vota?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, I'm Jack, and I want Mi Familia Vota as part of the Harris County Yes to the Census 2020 campaign. We are not members of the Census Bureau. The census invitation will have begun arriving in mailboxes as of March 12th. Yes, the census is live. If you have not responded to the census yourself, please take the time to check your own mail and make sure that you respond for your household. We wanted to ensure that you are aware that of the critical importance that everyone is part of the Census 2020 complete count. It is especially important now that you respond to the census via the internet response or phone response, as we coordinate with local officials with social distancing to prevent the potential community spread of COVID-19. We do not want to do our work in a silo. We understand that, and this is not the script. We understand that our work is impacted by everything that surrounds us. So that's why in this messaging throughout our calls, we figured out that we wanted to at least make mention of why we were doing this over the phone and not going door to door, and it's because of COVID-19. As of March 12th, the U.S. Census has sent out 2 types of invitations for you to complete the census: an invitation letter asking if you'd respond online, or a paper form that you can complete and return via mail for households up to 9 people. You can also use either of these invitations to respond via phone if that works best for you. When you receive your invitation, how likely are you to respond within 3 days? That's the very first question. It's a 1, a 5, or a 10 answer. 1, I'm not doing it in 3 days, or I'm not doing it at all. 5, I don't know, I have to see. And 10, I'm absolutely gonna respond in 3 days. The next question, you're gonna tell them this. This is like the lead-in for the next question. The next question is optional and confidential. We will not share your response with our government partners. Part of the reason I need to adjust that. Part of the reason we're making calls. Sorry, somebody said they're having trouble opening up the foreign. Part of the reason we are making calls is to make sure all communities have a voice that are counted, especially those that have been ignored and undervalued in the past. By voluntarily identifying your community, you will help us ensure that everyone is counted in the 2020 census. Would you like to voluntarily identify if you or any member of your household are a member of these undercounted communities? You can just go down this list and tell them what they are. You don't have to go down one at a time and wait for a response. Is anybody in your family Asian, Americans, Pacific Islander, African American, Black, Latino, Latina, Latinx? Annual income under 30,000, newborn 0 to 5, renter, born outside the U.S., don't have internet access at home, formerly incarcerated, or people with disabilities. All of those are listed out underneath. They say you can just change them to yes. If they say no to any of them, you can go ahead and change them to no. And your very last 2 questions is, can we count on you to talk to your friends and family about the upcoming census? The importance of the upcoming census, once again, that's a yes or no question. And would you like somebody to follow up with you to see if you need assistance on completing your census? Once again, that's a yes or no question.
That's very cool. Like we've been doing this.
It's really nothing different from what you've already done for in land, except for we increased it to include all the questions that we agreed on. So that you guys could be able to do your work in the most effective way, and we're able to identify the undercounted communities that we are engaging with. Are there any questions?
Yeah. This is Jake. I can't see him to do my daily reporting system yet.
What was that?
Before it starts and after it ends, but I still can't access it. I'm not in the system.
You're not in Slack?
Yeah, I'm in the daily reporting system, and it says choose your name and.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about you. I'll put you in though.
Okay.
I'll do that today. I'll do it after we get off this call.
Gotcha.
Okay.
$7,000. Like it's like all of us, or just each of us.
What was that?
You mentioned we had like around 27,000 callers, and we should make it last as long as we can.
That's just for this week.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. We have about 400. We have a little under 500,000 callers in the priority block groups that the Harris County are interested in, which our RFP was targeted toward. I know that many of your organizations also have census organizers through Houston in Action or funding through Houston in Action for census. We have about 2 million members within Harris County. I am going to uplift that in our last canvas, in our last phone banking over the last couple of days, individuals were asking, what do you say when someone asks, how did you get your number? How did you get their number? If anyone asks you, how did you get their number? The response that we are giving is we got it through a commercial data vendor. Because that's the truth. That's how we get everybody's number. All the cell phone numbers and mobile numbers, we put them out into the universe through website. There's vendors that literally scrub websites and different things and connect numbers with names and all of those great things. And we just purchase a list. So you can just tell them a commercial data vendor, Terrence Thomas.
Question, around how many calls a day are you expecting from at the office? I got around 500 to 1,000 done a day.
What was that?
So I was asking how many calls are you expecting to make in every day? At the office, I got like 500 to 1,000 calls done a day.
So we're expecting that canvassers are going to make about 120 calls for a 5-hour shift to be on the safe side. We aren't using predictive dialers, so these are our calls that you have to literally pick up the phone, dial the number, wait for it. It's not going to call by itself for you. So we're not expecting some extremely high volume of calls, but we are expecting a respectable amount of calls per shift. So like I said, canvassers are expected to make for 1 hour, 20 calls, and ideally contact 6 people. And that's an hour work. And then over here, we have a single shift at 5 hours, 1 canvasser, 120 calls with 30 contacts.
You can put those to get into reach.
What was that?
And then once we get a canvasser, sorry, a caller, we put it into reach.
Y'all don't have to do anything with reach anymore.
Oh, great.
Y'all don't have to switch over. Y'all don't have, and this is why we wanted to make sure that everything was in one system. This is why we're moving over to EveryAction, because we'll be able to pull all the data directly from the back end of this report. And I'll be doing that literally tonight about 9 o'clock. So like I said, if you have questions, I'll be working till about 9 o'clock. So you don't have to toggle between this and reach. Put your responses in here, and that's where they're going to live at.
I have a question.
Yes. Antonio?
So how do we, after we call the person and we have all the information that we have, how do we pass to another phone? Like, it's gonna be like a list or something?
So if you go into the phone bank, give me 1 second. Once you make your phone call, you're gonna put your responses in. We're just gonna go ahead and put this one is not home. At the top right-hand corner, there's gonna be that button that once was great that says save and next call is gonna turn blue. That's when you're able to click it and save the information that you put in and go to the next caller.
Okay.
And the great thing about this is even when you guys are working across Harris County or across Houston, you all can be in this at the same time, and it's going to populate whoever the next caller is in the list. And when you click it, Antonio, that does not mean that you're not going to get the same number that Jack did.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.